welcome to another edition of Trends with LJE, where we bring you the latest and developing stories across Nigeria and Africa. I am John Nkamian. Of course, as always, do well to be part of our growing online community by hitting that follow, like, and share button right now on all platforms at LJE Nigeria. Joining me to dissect today's trending stories, I have a gentleman and a lady, as they say. Ladies first, Miriam Gamali. Miriam, it's great to have you on the show. And of course, friend and brother and colleague, Shadrach Oka. It's great to also have you on the show.
It's a pleasure.
Now, let's quickly run through our headlines for today's edition of Trends. Tinubu orders service chiefs to be proactive and get results. Petrol soars above 1,000 Naira per litre as Tinubu okays 15% import tariff. Fuel tax won't begin until Naira appreciates, only price falls, Oyedele. And party registration, INEC disqualifies 6 more political parties. Nnamdi Kanu files fresh motion, asks court to strike out all charges. We start with this story where President Bola Ahmed Tinubu decorated service chiefs with their new ranks, giving them an order to flush out terrorists and other non-state actors in all zones of the country. President Tinubu said for the war against insecurity to become a thing of the past, the military must change its direction by deploying technology and superior joint planning to defeat the enemies. The president gave them tips on how they could effortlessly achieve the task, be preemptive, innovative, and courageous, adding that even with the recent emergence of new armed groups, Nigeria can no longer allow the insecurity that began to worsen in 2009 to continue. The president received assurances from General Oyedele, who spoke on behalf of others, of the military's readiness to deliver on the task, defend the constitution, and protect the nation's democracy. The Chief of Defense Staff, CDS General Olufemi Oluyode, became a 4-star general, while the service chiefs were elevated to 3-star generals. The Chief of Defense Intelligence also became a 3-star general. Now, away from the presidency, the service chiefs to developing stories where petroleum marketers have warned that the pump price of premium motor spirit, PMS, popularly called Petrol, could exceed 1,000 Naira per litre following President Bola Tinubu's approval of a 15% ad valorem import tariff on fuel imports. Now, the new policy, which takes effect after 30 days transition period expected to end on the 21st of November 2025, is part of the government's strategy to protect local refineries and reduce the influx of cheaper imported products that threaten domestic refinery investment. However, marketers say the move could backfire and push retail prices beyond the reach of average Nigerians. And let me come to you, Shadrach. Does this administration in any way truly want to alleviate the burden it has put on the average Nigerian, especially after the removal of subsidy? I mean, 15% import tariff and pump price of petrol. Prior to the advent of this administration, we're buying fuel at about 400, 500 Naira at most. Now, we're about to buy at over 1,000 Naira per litre.
Let me sound very patronizing to the APC, like someone who really loves Mr. President and say he's performing too very well. I want to believe that this administration loves Nigerians so very much and he cares so much about Nigerians. But the truth is that the reality says otherwise. As much as we want to talk about the reforms and the initiative or the intention of Mr. President to really alleviate poverty in the land and better the standard of living, but the policies and pronouncement of government is otherwise. For administration that came in, boasted so much before they came in during the campaigns, spoke so much that they're going to better the lots of Nigerians, but have inflicted pain 10 times more than what we are getting. It's otherwise. You can imagine 15%, 60 less than 60 days to Christmas. It was another dry Christmas coming, and it's not fair to Nigerians. But I want to say, Mr. President, this policy, it clearly shows that they are thinking only about themselves. I think when they want to plan, they use themselves as the yardstick, because it is unimaginable. From all parameters you want to look at it, you just clearly shows that these pronouncements or policy or whatever it is they are pursuing is not a reflection of what the current situation of the people. They don't take people, the citizen, into consideration. If that is done, you will not be seeing things like this. And then if we shout enough, they may perhaps reduce it maybe to 10%, but it is clearly unacceptable that Mr. President, who campaigned even before he became president, was anti-government, talking about the people, that people should come first. But from all indications, since he came in 2 years now, Nigerians have been suffering much more than when he was an opposition leader. It is clearly unacceptable.
Before I go to Miriam, yes, Mr. President says that these are bed pains or teething pains that we must go through for it to be better. I've had an economist here who says that, look, at the macro level, yes, some improvements have, but for us, the average Nigerian, you and I, to begin to truly experience those results, it might take 3, 4, maybe 5 years. What will happen to the average Nigerian if this continues?
My brother, even at that, these are paper evaluations. If you plot the graphs very well, you put indices on ground, you may say, yes, in 3, 4, 5 years' time, this could happen. But they are usually constant. When you solve equations, there are constant certain patterns you must put in place to guarantee even that theory that you are propounding to us. But in Nigerian current situation, it is not. Number one, you see that the elites themselves, they amass so much wealth. Corruption is there. So even these indices on paper, it cannot work because those things are supposed to be constant to guarantee these changes coming in as benefit or dividends of such policies. Those things will be blown away by corruption. So I don't think, wherever you look at, whether both in theory or in actual practice, the odds are against Nigerians. It will not work. That is the truth. And for over 2 years now, we have seen it clearly that there are no signs that these measures they are putting in place is going to work. There are no signs at all.
Miriam, you're currently buying fuel at about almost 900 Naira. And now there is indications that you may buy above 1,000 Naira. And naturally, this will affect everything because transportation is key when it comes to moving goods and services from point A to point B. How do you react to this reality that you just might be buying fuel above 8,000 Naira?
It's appalling that the government that said they will give us a better life is the same government that
come first. Shouldn't the people have been consulted in some way before implementing these policies?
We say that there is democracy. In Nigeria, do we have democracy?
But we say we practice democracy.
Yeah, we practice. But really, are we practicing it? Or it's just let them say that, okay, this is it, but we are not actually doing it? Because there is nothing that has been happening in this nation that the citizens are even involved. It is just them at the top there, taking the decision, whatever they want, they will just do it. When we are crying, it doesn't even, at times I don't even know if our president is actually hearing our cry, if his PA or his aides are actually telling him, this is what Nigerians are saying, this is what is happening, and just to react to it. Many times I feel we don't even have a president while we have one. But I don't know.
Well, Mr. President, in his words, every time he gets the opportunity to address Nigerians, will say, I feel your pains. Anyway, in a related development, chairman of the Presidential Committee on Fiscal Policy and Tax Reforms, Taiwo Oyedele, has said that the proposed 5% fuel surcharge tax will not be implemented until there is a significant improvement in key economic indicators. Now, particularly an appreciation of the Naira or a fall in global crude oil prices. Speaking in Lagos on Thursday, Oyedele noted that while the surcharge is a sound policy designed to fund road maintenance, Introducing it now would worsen the financial strains on Nigerians. Now, according to him, the surcharge, which was first introduced under the ex-president Olusegun Obasanjo administration, was intended to dedicate part of the fuel revenue to road repairs, 40% for federal roads and 60% for state and local government roads. Adding that the most of Nigeria's 200,000 kilometers of roads are in poor condition. Oyedele also assured that the ongoing tax reforms would deliver significant relief to the haulage and logistics sector by eliminating multiple taxation, reducing costs, and improving efficiency. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we will be discussing the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC's disqualification of 6 more political groups, and Nnamdi Kanu's filing of fresh motions, asking the court to strike out all charges. Do stay with us, and remember, keep sharing the stream.
Nigeria is at a turning point. Young people are rising, demanding change. If you believe in justice, strong leadership, and real reform, then it's time to take a stand.
At LJE Nigeria, we're not just observers, we're builders. We're tackling leadership deficits, advocating for justice reforms, and driving economic advancement for all.
As a volunteer, you won't just watch, you will be a part of it. You will gain access to powerful seminars, conferences, and mentorships from professionals who believe in your potential.
No matter who you are, whether you're a student, an entrepreneur, a professional, or someone who cares, there's a place for you here.
Network with passionate change makers, build skills, and step into leadership.
Join LJE Nigeria today. Let's lead with truth. Let's build with courage. Let's rise for Nigeria. Become an LJE volunteer today and be the change Nigeria needs. Follow all our social media handles for more details.
Camera rolling. Light set. Sound check. And action.
Hello everyone, welcome to today's program, a program where we get to talk about the daily affairs around legal issues with intent to educate.
This is the perfect space to create professional quality videos, recording news, podcasts, and all media content. With top-of-the-line cameras, studio lighting, soundproof spaces, we provide everything you need for a seamless shoot. Our fully equipped studio ensures high-quality production every time. Enjoy a comfortable, air-conditioned environment with professional-grade gear and expert support. Contact us now or visit our Abuja location to reserve your spot.
Thanks for staying with us. It's still Trends with LJE, and 8 political associations have completed the initial stage of the political party registration process, while 6 were disqualified. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, said yesterday, Thursday. The National Commissioner and Chairman of the Information and Voter Education Committee, Sam Olumekun, confirmed this development in a statement in which he said 14 associations had been pre-qualified to participate in the process, which began with a briefing on September 17th. A dedicated portal for submitting required documents was open from September 18th to October 18th. That's a full month. As of October 19th, 8 associations had submitted all the necessary documents. The commission further stated that the next step involves a detailed verification of the submitted documents to determine compliance with the 1999 Constitution as amended, the Electoral Act 2022, and INEC's regulations for political parties. INEC previously received a total of 171 letters of intent from associations seeking registration as political parties. Now, Miriam, now at a time where we see, especially in the build-up to 2027, virtually everybody is decamping to the APC. And INEC is ensuring that out of the 171 political parties that asked to be registered and recognized by the electoral umpires, as we speak, just about 8 have seen the light of day. Are we going to truly see free, fair, transparent elections in 2027? Because the conversation, even in public space, is suggesting that we just might have a one-party state by 2027.
We've all known how our elections has been over the years, and I'll say, hopefully, I hope 2027 will be a different thing altogether, because we have a new INEC.
A new INEC chairman.
Exactly. So I hope, and I'm still hoping, that he's not one of the boys for our president that will now help to come and say that there are glitches and all that. But anyhow, let's keep watching. And I just hope that these political parties that are coming up, I hope the youths of Nigeria will look for a way and infuse themselves into these political parties to make sure that this older generation would leave our political system and let the younger ones rule. Because we've had these old hands leading us, and we are not seeing any
difference.
No different. So I think they should just wipe all of them out and let the new breeds lead, and let's see how it's going to be.
Shadrach, 8 political parties seem to, so far, have met INEC's requirements out of 171. And does this portend any hope for the future of politics and politicking? Because, as I said, we seem to be tilting towards a one-party state.
Yes, I think INEC should take it more stronger measures in the remaining stages of interviewing that is or screening that is left for those 8 political parties, and tax them more on party ideologies. Because from what we have seen so far, APC, PDP, Labour, ADC, they are all seem to be of the same family. That is true. There is no clear-cut ideological differences between those parties. So the ones that are coming in, perhaps it may signal some hope for Nigerians who still believe there's going to be change coming. So INEC should do us the favor of scrutinizing those 8 political parties very much on party ideology to see if we can even have 2 or 3 from those 8 would clearly have a well-defined ideology that sits down with the welfare of the people. If that is done, I will believe that beyond 2027, we'll be having a political party that, come what may, will have the people. For everybody going into APC, for me, it's clearly not an issue for me, because I know all of those things will not determine where the vote of the people will come, especially the current reform that is coming up. If the issue of independent candidacy will try, then we can have in the state assembly people on stand on independent candidacy to actually sell their candidacy to the people. And I can tell you, we can have more than 20, 50 or 100 legislators from the state to National Assembly coming up from independent. So let them do that. For INEC on these 8 political parties, tax them on a party ideology. And I believe with that, we can have 2 or 3 that may have very strong footing on ideology that sits down with the welfare of the people.
Say these 2 or 3 parties do emerge based on party ideologies that hinge on welfare of the people and being able to change the current economic narrative. Do you think that will change the voter apathy we have seen in the past elections, both at gubernatorial and national? Because statistically, one of the emphases by CSO, civil society, is the fact that there continues to be voter apathy, and it may not change if something out of the ordinary doesn't happen in 2027.
I can tell you, if 2 or 3 of these political parties comes up and they clearly market their party ideology to Nigerians, it will redeem the issue of voter apathy. Because even what is happening currently in the APC, that we see people, running into the APC, is a clear indication there is really going to be more issue on voter apathy coming up. But with this one coming, if they sell the ideology very well, I can tell you, because as it stands now, the ruling party have succeeded to mortgage Labour Party, the PDP, and even ADC and SDP. They are, from all indication, with the tactics in politicking, it shows that if you even emerge as a candidate from this political party, somehow the court, they'll use the court to throw you out. So for every sensible Nigerian who really have substance to offer to their people, they may want to, have these new parties coming up as a solace. And if they sell their candidates, Nigeria will believe. I can tell you that will even be the redemption that Nigeria have. If not, from the last election that we have over 140 million registered voters, and we have less than 20 million decided who becomes the Nigerian president, it's a thing that should worry everybody. And the INEC chairman should look into it. Those are some of the core issues to ask strong questions. Why is it so? And once he be able to answer that question genuinely, I think change will be here with us.
Finally, the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, has filed a fresh motion before the Federal High Court in Abuja seeking the dismissal of all charges against him and his immediate release. In the motion dated October 30, 2025, and titled Motion on Notice and Written Address in Support, Kanu argued that there is no valid charge against him under any existing law in Nigeria. He said the charges currently before the court are a nullity, ab initio, for want of any extant legal foundation. The IPOB leader, who is representing himself, filed the motion under sections 1, subsection 3, section 6, subsection 6b, and 36, subsection 12 of the 1999 Constitution, the Evidence Act 2011, and the Terrorism Prevention and Prohibition Act 2022. He maintained that the prosecution relied on repealed and non-existent laws, including the Customs and Exile Management Act, which was repealed by the Nigerian Customs Service Act 2023, and the Terrorism Prevention Amendment Act 2013, repealed by the TPPA 2022. Kanu said the reliance on such repealed laws violates Section 36, subsection 12 of the Constitution, which prohibits trial for any offense not defined under an existing law. He therefore urged the court to strike out the charges in their entirety, insisting they do not constitute any offense known to law. Citing the Supreme Court's decision in FRN versus Kanu, he argued that lower courts are bound to take judicial notice of repealed laws under Section 122 of the Evidence Act 2011, adding that failure to do so renders all proceeding void. Kanu also contended that the counts against him were allegedly committed in Kenya in violation of Section 76, subsection 1d, third of the TPPA 2022, which requires validation by a Kenyan court before such an act can be tried in Nigeria. He said this omission nullifies the court's extrajudicial jurisdiction and breaches Article 7, subsection 2 of the African Charter on Human and Persons' Rights. He further maintained that under sections 1, subsection 3, and 36, subsection 12 of the Constitution, any law or judicial act inconsistent with the Constitution is void. He cited previous court decisions where convictions based on non-extant laws were nullified. Kanu argued that the courts to direct the prosecution to respond to his motion strictly on points of law within 3 days and to deliver a ruling on or before November 4, 2025. He stated that his application raises only constitutional and legal questions derived from existing laws and therefore does not require an affidavit. That's all the time we have for this edition of Trends with LJE. My sincere thanks to Miriam Gamalier and, of course, Shedrack Oka for making our time to be on the show. Thank you once again. Don't forget, follow, like, and share at LJE Nigeria on all social media platforms to join the conversation and get updates on our next show. I am John Nkanyan. Bye for now.